Hey y'all, it's your girl Gemini Jazz with House of Chiron, and we are back with another episode of Galactic Gossip. So this week we have a few things going on, a few transitions, a few shifts, some changes going on. So I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to get into all the things and all the announcements so we can dive into this week's forecast. So if you are new to my channel, thank you for being here. To get more info, more updates about all the astro news and the galactic gossip, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you are returning, welcome back. How are you doing? What's good, fam? Your family, yes. So, how was last week's for everyone? I hope it has been well. This week, we have a few things going on, but before we get into that, I have a few quick announcements. Yes, the Celestial City is still open and it is in full effect. We are having a grand old time up in the membership, okay? So, if you are not signed up or registered or involved in the membership, go ahead and look at that description box and get that link and join us now because we are offering Reiki services within our membership. So you don't pay anything extra, you just pay your $33 for your membership, and then the Reiki is included. So keep that in mind. Also, I still have the Trauma Conscious Yoga Full Moon Healing Circle that's happening at the full moon in Aquarius, and that will be going down on August 22nd. This one will be in the afternoon, so it's going to be on a Sunday afternoon, 12 Central Standard Time. So check that out. You can do the description box as well. And also, last bit of information that I have will be I am now offering full-blown Reiki services. Yes, I'm excited. So you can find them on my website. They are all linked. I have four options. So we have the candle Reiki, we have the Astro Reiki, we have the Reiki sound bath, and then I offer a combo Reiki. So you can combine two of those three and make a combination experience for your healing pleasure. Okay, so go ahead, hit that description box, get all that information, and sign up on my website. I'm just saying, just give your girl a try. So, anywho, now let's dive right on into this forecast, shall we? We are now into the third week of August. Like, where's the time going? All right. So, we're going to be covering the energy for August 15th all the way through August 21st. So, starting off on the 15th, we have Venus leaving Virgo and entering Libra. So, Venus is returning home to Libra where it finds harmony and balance within its partnerships. Venus rules Libra. So this is about our partnerships. It's about our finances. And Libra is about balance and harmony and what's fair and good for everyone, right? So Libra is an air sign and it rules love, it rules relationships. So that diplomacy energy. So we're going to be finding that our interpersonal relationships are going to be functioning with a lot more ease during this transit. So Venus is going to be in Libra all the way until September 10th. And this transit is going to be having us focus on what works for all parties involved. That's that diplomacy, right? So there will be an increased desire to socialize because, Libras are social butterflies, right? They like to talk, they like to mingle and whatnot. They also enjoy working in a team. So this is going to also give us that energy of making our surroundings beautiful because Venus rules beauty. And we might get into art and different artistic things, art, cinema, photography. We might like go and purchase like an item for our home, like a new painting or something like that. It's going to be really beautiful. And you might find a really good deal, right, during this time. So towards the end of this transit, so at the end of the month, Saturn is going to be assisting Venus in making some choices and some commitments because we know Venus and Libra struggles with that sometimes, making commitments, being solid in certain areas, and less indecisive. So now Saturn is going to be there later on in the transit, helping it to tie things down and be more committed and make those choices. Also, it's going to be assisting us in investing in certain things. So whether it's the stock market or investing in committing to a long-term relationship, or like I said before, finding great deals on art, music, fashion, cosmetics, all those Venus rule things, that's going to be highly favored around that time, especially when Saturn makes certain aspects to the planet. All right. Now, moving on, we have Mercury that is going to make a conjunction to Mars in Virgo at 12 degrees. This happens on August 18th. So this is going to really increase our mental capacity. So mental agility becomes a thing on this day, and our ability to focus increases, right? So as we're like processing information rapidly and looking at the bigger picture in a sense. So we'll be able to really see things much more clear, much more decisively, but we'll be able to process things even much more rapidly than we were. So our mental activity is going to allow us to solve like those perplexing problems and situations that we've been experiencing, especially with like the frustrating energy of like Saturn Uranus square and the Neptune Mercury square we've experienced all year long. So certain things are still unclear, you know, still kind of hazy. And this energy is going to come through and help us, you know, kind of solve those situations that's been keeping us confused. Also, it might bring up the possibility of some heated arguments because we are able to process information much more rapidly. Our communication styles might come across a bit aggressive because that Mars energy that's there. Mars is in Virgo. Virgo can be nitpicky and a perfectionist. So you might find yourself being a nagger, right? Mercury is, you know, communication. You might be nagging a little bit. So make sure that you're paying attention to how you're coming across. You know, that self-awareness is always key. That is the motto of House of Chiron. So make sure that you're just being aware of how you are coming across to others. You know, you might, if you're not being aggressive, you might even be coming off in a very defensive mode. And even then that might bring up some heated arguments. And that's because that Mars influence. So it's really ideal during this time to pause and think, practice the pause and think before we speak, you know, because blurting out bold statements is a thing on this day, right? Especially doing so without second thought. And that could cut someone deeply, right? And doing so, you might regret it later when you have to like kind of mend things and fix it. So just to save your time, and your mental health, just pause before you speak. Right. So the intention is to really like develop a higher sense of self-awareness, a higher level of self-awareness, as well as discipline and control when it comes to our communications. So trying to transmute that energy instead of coming off aggressive to where you have to learn lessons later. Try and see the bigger picture of it right now, that, you know what, let me practice the pause, let me become more disciplined and control the way I communicate and also my perceptions. Let me see things before I actually just respond, or more so react. Okay, so react rather than respond. Reacting requires no emotional maturity, responding does. Okay, so take your time. All right, so moving on, very next day, we have the sun, which is still in Leo season. It's going to be making that opposition to Jupiter that is retrograde in Aquarius. So on this day, we could really experience some rewards for the previous work that we put in, right? Especially if the work required or included us working for our communities or assisting others, because that's that Aquarian energy. Okay, so this could be like having us have situations that just fall right into place, opportunities falling into our laps, something that's going to create or birth some type of success or abundance in our lives. So because of these things, we might be feeling really confident. Our confidence increases under this influence. And so the sun, like I mentioned before, you know, sun rules Leo, and it also governs our personalities. It's confidence, it's our sense of courage, it's creative self-expression. And Jupiter plays a role in our expanded vision, it's optimism, it's elevated, you know, characters and whatnot. So we are really encouraged to remain humble, but fully aware of how vast and how great we truly are, right? So genuinely knowing that you are amazing, and that the opportunities and the good feels that you are experiencing on this day is because you absolutely deserve it, because, you know, you just do. So knowing so, but not allowing that Jupiter energy to give you an inflated ego, right? Because that sun is the ruler of Leo, and it's in Leo, and it rules the ego. So working on not inflating our ego, but more so finding that humility within being as great as we are. All right, so the big energy of the week, shall we move on, is going to be that Uranus stationing retrograde at 14 degrees in the sign of Taurus. Yes. This is the huge energy. So this is happening on August 19th, and Uranus is going to be retrograde all the way until January 18th of 2022. Okay, so Uranus is joining the retrograde clan on this day, and it's going to be shifting some stuff up once again. So Uranus is in Taurus, and it's not comfortable here, right? Because, you know, it's just not. It rules Aquarius. Uranus rules Aquarius. Taurus is that fixed energy just as well, but it's still not comfortable here. It's all about traditions and you know, being grounded, and you know, Uranus and Aquarius energy is kind of not that. So in this case, this is going to, or what it has already been doing, because it's been in Taurus for quite some time, is going to be really liberating us from those oppressive structures and things that do not align to our core values. So whatever it is that is keeping us and hindering us from aligning to what it is that we desire, our core values, is going to be a time of liberation. So Uranus stations retrograde every year for about 5 months, and it retreats backwards about 4 degrees. So in this case, it starts off at 14 degrees and it's going to retreat back to 10 degrees. And so we are going to really experience some internal shifts and changes more on an internal level than an external expression. Okay, so this is really essential for us to recognize, you know, what's going on in our lives. Where have there been some changes, unexpected changes, some unexpected shifting, some liberation, some awakening, because that's that energy of Uranus. Is all about the awakening, right? Coming into awareness of something. Where is this happening in your birth chart, right? So that's a question you ask yourself. Where is Aquarius in your chart? And then you'll be able to pinpoint where exactly this is manifesting in your life as an individual. So this is not new energy for us also, okay? We've been experiencing a lot of shifting, a lot of changing, something that has been oppressive, something that has been creating this frustration. Because during this time, you can see like where the frustrations have been based on where it's happening in your chart. You'll be able to know for a fact, right? And so as it moves backwards, you know, retreats backwards those 4 degrees, it's inching closer to that Saturn and Uranus square that we've been experiencing all year long. So it's going to be inching backwards that 4 degrees to square up a little bit or get closer to that square of to Saturn. And so this is going to possibly bring, you know, some of those frustrations back to the surface that we've been experiencing all year long, right? So we could really be having like a revisit of that, of those frustrations. So we can say, okay, now I see what needs to shift. This is something that's internal. This is in me. This is something I'm doing also, or it's a mindset shift or something, a way of being or whatever. And then being able to have that internal change that happens in order for the external to match, right? So all year long, we've been attempting to create this change in whatever area of our life, right? And this will be that time that's going to provide that more, you know, so we've been trying to create change that's going to free us up, right? Give us that sovereignty, give us that autonomy, give us the freedom and the liberation. And so during this time, we've just been faced with these restrictions and these obstacles. And so this retrograde period is going to provide us the necessary internal transitions that's going to make those external results once Uranus stations direct in January of 2022. So just be patient with this energy. I really am excited for Uranus to station retrograde, because it's not like a Mercury retrograde kind of thing. It's more so like this is internal. There's going to be some internal shifts. It's more spiritual than anything else. And it's kind of like the inspiration is here and near, the awakening is here and near for us to really make those changes that are necessary, that's going to liberate us, okay? So that stagnant energy that has been creating the anxiety and the stressors that we've experienced, especially all 2021, are soon going to come with some type of resolution, and we might actually be liberated or have like a revolution or something, you know, to be free from whatever has been restricting us. It might be the end of something, and you've probably been holding on to it, knowing you need to let it go. And now it's like, you know what? The internal shift is here where you are aligned to your desires, your external reality. And it's like, look, it's done. It could be many things, could be a mindset thing, could be many things, many things. Okay, depends on where it's at in your chart. All right, so moving on, last but not least, we have Mercury, which is in Virgo, making a trine to Uranus retrograde in Taurus. This happens August 20th, and Mercury is going to trine Uranus and bring the freedom to explore thoughts, okay? So right after Uranus goes retrograde, we have the freedom to like really go through our thoughts and open us up to innovative perceptions and perspectives to where we can see things in a different way. Mercury rules communication and information, so there might also be some unexpected information that comes in, some news, you know, and it could be something that's good, some good news that comes in, especially with the trine to Uranus. And so you might really expect to receive like some insights, some highlights on something that awakens our senses, because Taurus is about our senses. And this is encouraging us to remain open-minded and excited to all possibilities. So just kind of, you know, take that Uranus retrograde energy as it goes back retrograde. It's going to like make certain aspects, especially this one to Mercury, that's going to shift our thought, right? Mindset shift first, and then everything else kind of follows after that. And that's what this is about. So also something we could really experience with this is psychic and intuitive abilities could really receive an upgrade on this, you know, day as well, especially with Uranus being retrograde. So we might become more sensitive to external energies. Anxiety, overactive thinking, and sensory stimulation are possible during this time. So just take care of yourself, doing your breathing, your yoga, your meditation, whatever it is that you do, make sure you're drinking your calming teas, your chamomiles, and things that's going to keep your anxiety and tapping into that nervous system, because this energy is really going to promote that, because we're shifting and we're changing cellularly at a different rapid level, right, than we have before. So it's highly possible that anxiety and a lot of things could be coming up on a mental aspect. So that is all that I have for you all for Galactic Gossip. I hope that this week ahead is beneficial and helpful for you. If you need to connect with me, you know where to find me. Description box. All my sites and my links are linked in here. So just look somewhere. They're all here. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, now is the time, because you watched it all the way through. So you like it. It's fine. So I hope y'all have a wonderful week. Bye.